Hi everyone, welcome to Tamil Nadu Government Quota PG Medical 2022-23 Information Series by ZyNerd. In this video, we'll look at the different fees that is required to be paid at various stages of Tamil Nadu counseling for application, registration for counseling, and security deposit to be paid during counseling, and finally the tuition fee that needs to be paid and the penalties. The application fee as of now for applying. Note that in Tamil Nadu, application is different from registration. Application means entering your details, applying, providing the enclosure, sending it across, adding the enclosure, sending it across to the DME, and DME adding you to the merit list. That is what is called as application. Throughout the prospectus, wherever you see registration, it is for a round for counseling. So if you have other counselings may use these terms differently, but in Tamil Nadu, application would mean applying along with original documents as a fresh candidate for being eligible for the entire counseling process. This happens only once at the beginning of the process. Now till 26th, if you don't apply, even after being eligible, then you will not be eligible to apply for Tamil Nadu Government Quota Counseling. Henceforth, don't go by registration during round 2, etc., or other terms mentioned. Application is only once. Registration means registering for choice filling for already applied candidates. Now, application fee is rupees 3,000. But one thing that we want to clarify now, which is the next question that will come up, if you're not eligible today, then you may have a chance to apply again when the revised cutoff is published and is notified, and then you fall within the revised cutoff, then you may be eligible. But if you're eligible today, you can apply only once. Now before 26th. Application fee is rupees 3,000. Exemption for SEA or ST candidates is non-refundable. It can be paid through credit card, debit card, or net banking. Get your registration slip once you payment receipt once you apply. The registration fee for choice filling, this happens after you apply, after the merit list is released, and when round 1 starts for Tamil Nadu, the choice filling would start. At that point in time, if you wish to register for choice filling, you have to pay 1,000 rupees and then log in and fill choices. This is also not refundable, to be paid only one time throughout the process for first time choice filling. If you pay this amount during in round 1, before round 1, and then when you want to upgrade in round 2, you don't need to pay this amount again. Security deposit to be paid during counseling. This is an amount that is to be paid before the counseling. This year, even though at multiple places in the prospectus, this is being mentioned as for downloading the allotment letter, what we believe is that there is a change in the prospectus. Specifically, this clause has been inserted after registration for choice filling at the time of counseling. And it is also mentioned that if no seat is allotted, the amount is refunded, which is derivable, which would mean that you will pay 30,000 plus 1,000 at the time of registration. This is what we assume it means. You would pay 30,000 plus 1,000 at the time of registration for round 1 choice filling for government colleges. If you wish to opt for private institutes under the government quota, you will pay 1 lakh plus another 1,000 rupees. And in case you are not allotted any seat, the entire amount would be refunded. The amount would be refunded back to you after the counseling is over. This amount was supposed to be paid before downloading the allotment letter till 2021. In the sense, you could pay only 1,000 during choice filling. You fill your choices, and only if you are allotted, you are supposed to pay this 30,000 or 1 lakh to download the allotment letter. Now, from this year onwards, this may need to be paid even before choice filling, in order to ensure that if you fill choices and don't join the seat, then you lose this 30,000, and so that you make the right choices. You or other candidates who actually make casual choices do not make any casual choices. Now we will have to check if these changes are actually implemented. You will come to know anyways during the choice filling on whether you have to pay this amount before choice filling. That is anyways the confirmation. That is the final confirmation that you will get. Tuition fee for government institutes. The tuition fee for government institutes is 30,000 and 20,000 for diploma. You would have already paid a security deposit. This will be adjusted against the security deposit paid in case you are allotted a seat and you join. Tuition fee for self-financing medical colleges under the government quota. For clinicals, it is 3.5 lakhs per annum. We'll also have a look at the tuition fee for The rest of for the rest, it may be a little lesser. For clinicals, this is 3.5 lakhs per annum, and this will be adjusted against the security deposit of 1 lakh paid, and the balance amount should be paid during admissions. Note that only government quota private colleges contribute seats to government quota, 50% of the seats, and those are available, clinicals are available at 3.5 lakhs per annum. But except for a few institutes, some of the good institutes, except for some of the good institutes like Arvind, most preferred institutes like Arvind, PSG, etc., there might be a minor deviation, one or two institutes in terms of the fee, that is actually asked to be paid. But there are many institutes where the institutes may not adhere to the fee structure. The additional fee which many candidates have mentioned may even be 4 to 5 times. Please cross check with if there is any such institute. There may be many, and it is always better to cross check with the institute or seniors before you apply, or after applying. When you go to the institute, if you're asked to pay, then you may have to check with the institute on why, or take it up separately. The penalty, there is a stipulated deadline mentioned as far as penalty goes. This time, in every year in the prospectus, this deadline is mentioned as round 2. They basically mentioned that if you don't join an allotted round 2 seat, you will have to pay a penalty. During the process of counseling, this may change. They may notify that this is a deadline beyond round 2, and in case candidates don't resign a seat beyond that particular deadline, then you may have to pay a penalty. This deadline you will come to know exactly the exact date only during the counseling process. If you resign that seat beyond that deadline, and usually if you don't join an allotted seat in mop-up or further rounds, you have to pay a penalty of 15 lakhs or 10 lakhs based on whether you get a degree seat or a diploma seat. Now, this has been implemented strongly, very strongly. So make right choices while filling in choices for any of the rounds. Service bond. Tamil Nadu has a service bond of 2 years and 40 lakhs for non-service candidates and candidates allotted to AAQ. For diploma, it is 2 years and 20 lakhs. The sureties required are 3 sureties are required in total, as is mentioned here. There is a service bond in cash specialties, which is mentioned as 3 years. We'll just correct it over here straight away. So we just modified this here because this year in the prospectus, while last year it was 5 years, there was a lot of confusion. This year in the prospectus, it is clearly mentioned that service bond and SCAT specialties is also 2 years. So there is no confusion now. For all seats, there is a bond of 2 years and the penalty of 40 lakhs as far as MDS is concerned. If you're taking the diploma seats in the Madras Medical College, Diploma Diabetology, or those under Kadalur Medical College, Rajamutraya Medical College, then you will serve a bond of 2 years or 20 lakhs. These are only for government seats. Except for this, only Arvind, to our knowledge, has a bond for 2 years, which is also a 40 lakhs bond. So just check on Arvind's prospectus. Even for government quota and management quota, they have this bond. Just check on that. Service bond for in-service candidates, it is till the end of superannuation, and the same bond penalty amount 40 lakhs or 20 lakhs. Sureties are different, slightly different from what is required. 2 sureties are required, one permanent government employee and one from spouse or parent. As far as the service bond goes, there is a lot of query on whether it is implemented, not implemented, etc. Till last year, postings have been happening. If not, certificates were not provided till the end of 2 years. So first, after a High Court case last year, if the candidate is not posted within 90 days, the original certificates will be given back. Basically, you can get your original certificates if the government does not post you or does not call you for posting within 90 days. However, you can be called for posting anytime within 2 years of completion. You can get your certificates, but if you're called for posting after, say, the fourth month, you will have to come back and complete your bond. The service bond, candidate can be posted anytime within 2 years. So whether you're called for or you don't call for, anytime within 2 years, you can be called for posting, and after posting, you will have to serve 2 years bond. If the candidate is not posted within 2 years, you're not called for within 2 years, you're not posted within 2 years, then the bond becomes infructuous and the candidate is free of bond. Super specialty during service bond, in case a candidate is doing his or her PG service bond in Tamil Nadu during these 2 years, service bond, and gets a super specialty seat. The candidate has to get the originals from the state government, the DME or the institute, and then go join the super specialty. This was not possible till last year, unless the candidate pays a 40 lakh bank guarantee to the government of Tamil Nadu, and then after completing the SS, the candidate has to come back, serve the bond, and get relieved of the 40 lakh bond bank guarantee. Now, from last year, after a High Court order, this has been changed. This entire policy has been changed, and the High Court order is this: if a person serving a PG bond gets into a super specialty course, the PG institute where his or her certificates are will provide a letter mentioning that these are the original certificates of the candidate are with them. The candidate will take this letter, go get admitted in SS Institute, will get relieved, basically, go get admitted in the SS Institute. SS Institute has to accept this admission without originals with the letter from the institute where the candidate was serving the PG service bond. Now, this will result in admission. The candidate would complete SS without paying the bond, any amount bank guarantee to the PG Institute. Now, after completion of SS, the candidate will have to come back and complete the PG bond or pay the penalty to get the PG degree certificates. If there is an SS bond, then the candidate has to complete the SS bond in the institute where the candidate did a super specialty. That is a different thing, but the candidate can come back to the PG institute and get back the original certificate only after completion of bond. So this paves way for doing SS and then coming back and completing the bond without having to pay any bank guarantee or amount to the DME during the SS period. Now, this has been implemented since last year. MCC also has notified. So, have a look at this information and hope this information is helpful for you to take a decision. Course discontinuation penalty. For degree, discontinuation penalty is 15 lakhs and diploma 10 lakhs. And if you discontinue, you are debarred for 2 years. The stipend in government institutes is 48, 49, 50K. The private institutes that come under government quota, the stipend may be completely different. Some institutes offer a stipend which is around 25K to 26K, but please check with the institute before joining. Thank you so much for watching. Hope these videos are helpful. We will come up with a video on how to look at Tamil Nadu closing ranks in ZyNerd as the next video. Please have a look at that video as well. Thank you.